are you doing today? Thank you for that 38th month of subbing. Thank you very much. How are you doing today? How's your weekend so far? My weekend, while you're telling me about yours, started out fairly good so far. I'm low on sleep. This was this morning. My kids and I have been camping each night. For the last 2 nights. I don't sleep well with doing it, but the kids are having an absolute blast. So like, I'm a little low on sleep, but it's been a ton of fun. Wouldn't trade it. I could have not this last night, but yeah. Corn dogs, not really the greatest breakfast. We tried eggs yesterday. We tried to do eggs. We were gonna make like a healthy breakfast out there. It didn't turn out so well. It did not turn out so well. Oh. That's always it's always an interesting time. You know, it can be good. Change is always scary. Change is always difficult. You know, us as humans tend to not love change. Especially when we don't know the outcome, right? So those are always difficult because, you know, it could be for the better. It could be for the worse. I feel like a lot of the times it's for the worse. I feel like a lot of times when companies buy other companies, they try to milk them for, I don't know of a better terminology for this, but milk them for everything that they're worth. And it's just not a good. I like the changes that benefit me, not the ones that don't. Yeah, sometimes like if you get bought by a larger company, you get better benefits. You get, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, you get 401k matching. But yeah, well, I hope that it goes well for you. I hope that that's going well. Yeah, change is always scary. Even if it's something you think is good, you know, like when you get a new job and you're going somewhere where you think it's going to be awesome, it's still scary. There's just too many unknowns when you're doing things. Yeah. You're making bread though. Like, is this like a saying, or are you actually making bread? And what type of bread? Is this like some artisan sourdough? This is, for some reason, when I think of you making bread, like, I don't know why, but I imagine this stone oven and like some artisan sourdough. Okay, so it's not sourdough. Okay. Dude, bread is difficult. If there's one thing I don't do very well, my daughter makes better bread than I do at this point. I definitely don't make artisan sourdough. There's nothing artisan about the bread that I managed to make. I do believe some of it's edible, most of it's not. Oh my goodness, those eggs we made the other day were some of the worst fire roasted eggs I have ever had. Like you're like, you can't screw up eggs. You can. part of the fire got too hot. They were supposed to kind of be like slow roasted, almost like you were baking them, and they were covered in aluminum foil. And so like the one half of the eggs were charred, and then the other half we like tried, but like they taste like burnt. The part that wasn't burnt tasted also super burnt because I guess the other side was just burning. It's they were gross. They were unedible. Rubbery eggs are also awful. Flatbread on a hot plate or I don't know what flatbread. Oh, do you mean like pancakes? I know that's like a breakfast thing that we eat here, but that's kind of a bread on a pan, right? I don't know. I've never used a frying pan to make bread. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up. Not it didn't sound like it was pancakes. I mean, to be fair. Just felt like what you were doing. I've never made bread that way, but I'm sure it's delicious. Better than the bread I would make. I wouldn't make bread. All right. We can get into some of the news. We had some pretty exciting news this week. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time. Actually, I really only have 2 news segments to cover this week. One is copy fail. I'm going to cover that just a little bit. And then the other is just some kind of quick things around the web. I don't know that they need to be talked about too much, but we'll cover them at a high level and chat about them if people want to chat about them. Otherwise, I'm just going to inform you that they've happened. The first thing that I wanted to do in this quick news here is the Musk versus Altman week 1 of their trial has come to a conclusion. So this trial is ongoing, and I kind of have coined this as I don't know if I've coined it. I don't know. Somebody else could have said this as well, but this is like the trial for the heart of OpenAI, as far as I see it. You know, Musk is suing, saying that I don't know, it was like $58 million. So nothing, pocket change to Elon, but gave them $58 million, and he feels like he was duped because at the time they were a nonprofit. So throughout this entire testimony, not a whole lot has been super riveting from this, but I did want to point out maybe 1 or 2 interesting things. One of the things is first that Elon Musk admitted that Grok from XAI is actually leverages OpenAI to train their models. Let's see. XAI, which makes the chatbot Grok, uses OpenAI models to train its own. This isn't a huge revelation because this has been something since DeepSeek 3 came out, where DeepSeek kind of led this, where they made a model, but they used OpenAI to help train their model, basically exfilling that data out of OpenAI. And so this wasn't a big thing because this has been happening. I'm going to say it's kind of common at this point. This is going to be called Billionaire Battle of the Boardroom. Yeah, exactly. So that's ongoing. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. I'll keep you updated. So far, that's probably the only real interesting news that came out of this. There was a lot of shots fired, a lot of things being gone back and forth. We can talk about, the judge will say, oh, why didn't you raise this sooner? And, Musk will say it was only recently that he realized he had been duped. And so there was a lot of what I would consider very uninteresting things. The only really interesting thing was the Grok part, and that he admitted to poaching people from OpenAI. Again, not super revealing stuff. Not anything that's like that interesting. So, anyways, that battle is still going on. I will keep you guys updated, but again, not probably that big of a deal. Curious if Merrick can get a personal statement from Sam Altman. The answer is no. No, he cannot. I can't even get Sam Altman's AI to reply to me, let alone a personal statement from the Altman himself. So, like, if he games, he should go by the Altman. Like, that would be a great gamer tag. Okay, moving on to something a little more interesting. The AI fail of the week. Now, I want to talk about how you graciously have a failure. This was not a way to have a gracious failure. Now, what I mean by that is usually there's a lot of circumstances as to why you have a failure. Usually there are a lot of reasons, a lot of contributing factors, as we'll talk about, that go into, especially with complex, complicated systems. There's no one that knows every piece of everything and how that will interact with another piece. So when you have these issues and they come to light, you look at all the contributing factors and you look at how you can mitigate them. Now, one of the things that I really like in these is not to play a blame game, and you don't even do it with your vendors. I want to point out a shining star, and this would be Cloudflare. When Google took Cloudflare down because of their, they were using some bucket storage in GCP. It's not even important. Cloudflare had a problem and they took ownership because they said it was their architecture that leveraged GCP. And now moving forward, they decided that they were going to be fully off of GCP. So like that wasn't a problem. But at the end of the day, when they had a failure because they decided to architect it that way. They decided to engineer it the way they decided to engineer. I'm not saying no other company. That's the one that comes to mind, is Cloudflare did a really good job with that. And I gave them kudos to that in their downtime. Now, I don't know this, and I don't know this person, so I couldn't validate this. As far as I could tell, it seemed reasonable, but there's a couple things here that I want to point out. First, obviously, a lot of this was AI written, and he's pretty upset with AI. So that was number one takeaway. Like, people don't write this way. Maybe they have started to. I don't know, but people don't write this way in general. I've never written this way. So obviously, a write-up heavily written by AI. Take that for a grain of salt. The agent deleted some of their data. And by some of their data, I mean their production data. And this was the problem. Now, this is where I'm going to assume everything in this is true. That's the stance I'm coming from. Everything in this is true. Again, I can't confirm that. Nobody has talked to me from Railway. I will let people know if Railway actually reaches out to me to confirm or deny it. But until then, everything I can find, we're just going to assume this is true. What you don't want to do is try to throw people under the bus. You decided to use Railway. Whether it's good or bad, you decided to use Railway. Your customers decided to use you, right? So when your customers, you can't be like, well, it's not my fault, it's Railway's. Well, no. You decided to use Railway. For better or for worse, that's a you issue. The other thing is you didn't have any other backups, and you gave an AI agent. We can talk about Rippling, or not Rippling. What's the other database that got deleted? This has happened multiple times where an AI agent deletes something. That was also your choice to use an AI agent and give it full access with a bearer token to delete infrastructure. Probably shouldn't do that. The agent's confession. I can get a there's actually research done on this. It would have been really nice if he had given his prompt when he asked the AI agent. Because the problem is you can get them to confess anything. They can give you a right answer and you can tell them, no, you were wrong. And they'll be like, you were right. I did this thing and it was wrong. So the reason people don't realize that is AI models are not human nor intelligent. They are statistical analysis. And so what they're kind of trained to do in those scenarios is to accept that, right? Because they assume what the writer wrote is true. And so you can get them to admit fault even when they're right. So this is not very interesting, right? Yeah, this sure it admitted to doing what it did, and that's fine. And now this is where we get into the blame game. We get into cursor's problems. We get into Railway's failures, and these all might be true. These all might be true. But at the end of the day, you serve rental businesses, and those businesses counted on you. And those businesses counted on you to have safeguards around the tools that you're using. And I know AI safety is something people aren't really talking about, and I don't mean the AI safety people are talking about. I mean how to actually use it safely to develop. It's not something that we have a lot of access to. People are overhyping these, and I know that that's probably super frustrating for you. That being said, none of these should play the blame game. What I want to see here, if I was your business, I want to see what you're going to do better next time. How you're going to, with the tools that you're using, with the architecture you're using, how you're going to do better the next time. Replit. Thank you, Russell. SOC 2 solved. No security leaks. Yeah. I mean, I'm only pointing this out because one, just as friendly advice, if you have a failure, you have a failure. These things happen and they suck. And, we're going to try to do something with AI July 1st or July 4th. And it, hopefully it does a thing, and hopefully people use it and get to have fun leveraging it. And it could fail, and I'll take responsibility for it. We'll make decisions on how we run stuff, and if those decisions are bad, they'll be my bad. It's not the tool that I'm using; it's how I leverage the tool. The processes I have in place, the amount of time I have to give towards running the service, and things like that. So, anyways, that happened. Not surprising. I'm expecting to see more of those types of things. It's very easy to give Claude Code your Keys to the Kingdom, or even something like a Claudebot or something like that. And when it does something greenfield, it feels very empowering. And when it does something actually right, it feels very... I actually think AI is a new style of gambling. You spend 12 cents and you might get $50 worth of code generation. You might get your production database deleted. I actually feel like it's almost a new form of gambling. That's probably a hot take. Probably shouldn't say that one out loud. Let's move on. FAF 16. If you guys don't know, there was a Susnex. Susnex. I can never say net after Susknet. There we go. Susknet. Susnex was like the really big first publicized cyber sabotage. So it was about a nuclear research workloads, and it was actually designed to infiltrate a very specific facility. Oh, Togglebit. Welcome, Togglebit Raiders. How's everyone doing? Togglebit, it's good to see you. 138 people. What were you doing? And welcome. Welcome. For all of you from Togglebit's stream, I am a far inferior Rust programmer. But on Saturdays, we cover the news. That's what we're doing now. And then later, we'll get into a little bit of programming where you're going to get to backseat program somebody that doesn't really know what they're doing, and it will be glorious. oh, Togglebit. What is merit counting? Yeah, I do like to count. You know, merit counts things. CVEs today. CVEs. We have a very interesting one. If you guys run Linux systems in production, you're going to want to stick around. We're going to talk about copy fail here in just a minute. Copy fail is something you probably need to patch. I know the dreaded P word, patching. We probably should beep that out. Thank you so much, Togglebit. You have a fantastic meal of whatever you're eating. Anyways, well, welcome everyone. Welcome. I hope that you're doing well. Thanks for joining in, and yeah, we can get back to the news. Yeah, so anyways, just on Saturdays, that's what we generally do. And you know what? If you stick around to just after the news, we usually play a friendly game of Wordle. Twitch gets to play, so Twitch chat, you're gonna get to play Wordle. Do you know what, chat? Should we have them do the challenging word mode? Do you think they're up to it? Do you think they're up to the challenging word list? I'm not sure if they are. I'm not sure we've actually played the... So, if you guys don't know, we made a little Twitch game. Basically, you all get to play Wordle. It's written in Rust. It's open source. It's a disaster of a project, so you don't want to run it. But you all get to play Wordle, and you gotta get to vote on the next word that is selected. Anyhow, I have a challenging word list that is very challenging. They're all English words, but if you want esoteric words from the middle the Middle Ages, you'll get esoteric words from the Middle Ages. So it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. How much 12th century religious artifact knowledge does everyone have? It's a bit challenging. It's a bit challenging. You know, you can get a normal word in there too. It seems to never happen. I'm not sure why, but like half of the words are just normal words. Anyways, we'll get on with the news, and we'll get into Wordle in just a little bit. All right. So as I was talking, let's get through the quick news. This is just a quick set of heads up. There wasn't a ton of stuff that went into the news this week. As we talked about at the very beginning, the Elon Musk versus Sam Altman trial has gone on for a week now. Not a ton was revealed. I'll catch you guys up more next week as I'm reading through what's being released. The only big revelation was that Elon Musk stole some of or headhunted some of the OpenAI top talent, and that Grok AI uses ChatGPT to help train its models. Those were like the two big revelations. Didn't seem like that big of a deal to me. Like I said, that style of thing has been going on since DeepSeek 3, really. That was like the first big model to leverage another model to help train its model. So going on with the quick news, Fast 16 was a really interesting write-up about shadow brokers. If you guys don't know what Susnet is, it was a very much a nation-backed piece of software to infiltrate a nuclear reactor. So it was kind of one of the very first, very high-profile types of viruses out there. And what this Fast 16 did is it actually found software sabotage 5 years before that. So it basically found code that was specifically designed to sabotage mathematical calculations well before that. This isn't a big deal for today. It's just proving that it had been going on well before the first time that we saw it. So that was interesting. You can look up the Fast 16 if you like. It's an interesting little thing there. Moving forward, GoDaddy gave a domain to a stranger without any documentation. Not great. I don't use GoDaddy. I don't use Anchor either. But yeah, so somebody lost their domain all of a sudden, and because GoDaddy just gave it to this other person, and it has a happy ending. That other person gave it back to the person because they didn't even know that they got it. And it wasn't a hack or anything. It was just like a failure of their systems. Very interesting. Yeah, no, it was given to a person and they gave it back for free. GoDaddy hasn't said what it was. Whether it was like an AI that did it or anything like that, I don't know. I also didn't reach out to them. I know I reach out to some of these people. If you guys don't know, I don't have enough followers for people to respond to me. Nobody knows who I am. So nobody. I didn't try on this one though either. So to be fair, I didn't try to reach out to GoDaddy for comment. So it is what it is. I doubt they would have said anything anyhow, but yeah, they did get it back. So all in all, no harm, no foul. But yeah, they had to migrate to a different domain for a little while. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. Moving on, AWS Quick is now available as a desktop application for Mac and Windows. Now, maybe the biggest deal here that I saw in this whole announcement was that you could actually sign up for this without like a corporate login. You know, if you try to do anything with AWS or AWS, any of their tools, you basically have to make like a corporate account and leverage that as like an individual. And this was one of the first times I've seen where you can sign up for an account like with like Gmail, right? You can just like sign up for Amazon Quick with Gmail, whatnot. So they don't have, this is really aggravating me. Everybody codecs. Everybody's making Mac and Windows applications built on Electron and not releasing a Linux version of it. Absolutely annoying me. I almost positively guarantee you this is built on Electron as well, and they're just not packaging it for liquid Linux, the next in the series of the Solid Snake series. You're welcome. You're welcome. I take pride in a few things. My looks, because that's something I work on every single morning. And my humility. Those are like the two things that I really take pride in. My looks and my humility. Everything else I worked hard at. Those things just I was born with. Yeah. Anyways, so Amazon Quick, don't know whether it's any good or not. If you guys give it a try, join me in the Discord and let me know. I'd love to know. But I won't know until they release a Linux client, probably. Moving on, Trend Micro released this blog post, an update on exposed MPC servers. The threat widens to the cloud. So basically what they did is they looked through the internet for exposed MCP, or the Model Context Protocol. These are the servers that are leveraged to give agents access to things, right? So this is kind of the universal way. And one of the big deals with this, one of the really big deals with this, is that usually these MCP servers have like root access to the thing that they're a server for, right? If you have an MCP server of Gmail, it might have full admin access to your Gmail. So that's one of the problems with these exposed MCP models, is that while it provides an API, it provides access too. And so these were unauthenticated, exposed MCP servers. Now, my general practice to MCP servers as of right now, if that MCP server is going to something, it should only have read access. It should be behind authentication. And like your database, it should not be exposed to the public internet. Those are like, if you want to use one safely, those are the steps you need to follow right now. Read only, not exposed to the public internet, and behind authentication. That's true for databases. It's true for most things. Most things should be run that way. Yeah. We're actually going to talk. We're going to talk about the Linux kernel one. That's the last one. I'm saving that to keep everybody here, right? If I just led with that, everybody would leave. And you guys wouldn't stick around. Okay? So I'm getting to that one. It's your own fault for making me do it in this order. But we are getting to that one. We are absolutely getting to that one. We have two more things left, and then we'll talk about the Linux kernel. Obviously, you guys don't need me for the news. NIST released an AI risk management framework. I recommend you all read this. Now, whether you're under NIST or not, NIST releases a lot of really good guidelines. So not everybody leverages the NIST framework, but it is a fairly good one to do. And while you can do NIST, and this is not part of their overarching compliance or regulatory thing, it is a fairly good, from the little bit I've read so far. It's not 100, I haven't gone through the whole thing, so I can't tell you 100%, but the little bit that I've gone through, it seems like it's a fairly good, comprehensive framework for mitigating AI risk in your company. So I dropped you the link. I would recommend reading it if you're responsible for AI systems at your company. Yeah. You should give it a check. You should give it a check. It's good. One of the things that I really liked is it's given me some ideas of how I can frame and word things to the executives to help them understand. So I've actually found this to be really helpful to me. It might be unique to me, but I found it very, very useful. And the very last thing in our quick little section here is Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio had a very critical security flaw. It was command injection of the AI. It's fantastic. You can still get prompt injection, but this was command injection, which basically is the worst form of prompt injection. They have patched it. They have patched it. And that's it for the rapid fire. Did anybody else see anything else interesting other than what we're going to talk about next, which is the Linux copy fail? Nobody uses Copilot. Does anybody in chat use Copilot Studio? I don't know of anybody. I don't think. GitHub Copilot plan did change. I covered that last week. So they reduced the number of the limits, and they removed some models. There was a couple things. I don't use Copilot a whole lot. So for any of you that don't know, July 4th, I'm doing the AI games. I would love for you to come join me. It's going to be a long weekend of testing AIs and seeing how they do in the real world scenarios. So yeah, I encourage you to come check them out. The Gemma 4 type of models, it's cool. We actually test those out here. So if you're interested, we run a lot of things locally. Do we have Gemma 4? We can check if we have Gemma 4. I don't know if I downloaded Gemma 4. Let's see. What were we looking for? Oh, let's see. Yeah, I have Gemma 4. Yeah, we can test. So we're gonna test that. We're testing both local and non-local models. So it should be a pretty good time. You know what? There was another. I didn't cover this, but there was another social network that we could look it up really quickly. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Look at this. My internet's doing great this morning. It's doing well, so we shouldn't have a problem. There was another social network. What was it? Friendster? Yeah, Friendster is back. I don't know what Friendster was. There's like a resurgency in social. I thought we were all done with social media. Maybe that was just me. Maybe I'm just done with social media. You know? Maybe it's just me. But yeah, so I noticed this. Oh, sorry. I'll wait for just a little bit before we get into the copy. I actually used all my dismisses because Togglebit rated right when it said I needed to play an ad, and I went through my 3 dismisses, and so I couldn't do that anymore. How was Toggle's stream? What was Togglebit doing today? I feel terrible. I haven't seen a Togglebit stream for like over a month. It's probably been over a month. What was he working on? Game engine. So if you guys make it to if you make it to Wordle, if we make it to Wordle, if we make it to Wordle, it actually uses Anathema. Togglebyte's Tui. I've actually wanted to make a game, not a game engine. I'm not smart enough to make a game engine. I know the math, and I know that I'm not smart enough to do it. That would not be fun. But I do want to make a game. I have a couple. Now, I know that nobody will like my games because I think when I think of making a game, I think the most fun thing sounds like making a really frustrating game. Like, I liked Flappy Bird because Flappy Bird was designed to be frustrating, right? Like, Flappy Bird's whole idea was to be frustrating to play, like to make a mechanic that wasn't fun. And I find that to be fun. And I know that says a lot about me and my studying personality. But I do find that fun. So I want to make frustrating games, which I know, like saying that out loud is an interesting thing to say out loud. So we're going to make a frustrating game because that's what I want to do. So if it's meant to not be fun and you find that fun, has it failed? Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. Socrates, get out of here. We don't need all this contemplation. I don't have enough brain cells for that. I'm not sure. The answer is a solid I'm not sure. Like Dark Souls. Okay, Dark Souls was also fun. And Cuphead was also extremely fun. This probably says something about me. It's okay. I probably shouldn't admit having fun with all of these games. I quite enjoyed them. You're fed up with endless game. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to make these games. They should be stupid, they should be simple, and they should be simple to pick up with your phone. Because I want a time killer for the airport that you don't have to pay for that isn't riddled with ads. So I'm going to make a couple simple open source games at some point that will be on the App Store, at least the Android App Store. I'm not going to pay money to then lose, like to put it on the iPhone for no one. So that if you're at the airport, I travel a decent amount for my job. And like sometimes like I don't want to bust out my laptop. I have like 10 minutes before I board for my flight. I'm like, I'll just play something on my phone and I don't want ads. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. All right. Let's get back to the news. We have one last thing to cover. One last thing. You download and put your airplane mode on airplane mode for no ads. That's fantastic. That's acceptable. I find that acceptable. All right. So what are we talking about with Linux? I want to bring everyone's attention to the CVE 2026 31431. This CVE also has a more common name called copy fail, which is at the top of this. This is copy fail. Let me send this to you all. Copy fail. Now, if you're software engineers, if you work at a company, if you're part of the security, hopefully your security team has already reviewed this and the impact that it has on you. One of the big things I want to state here up front is if you think that because you have containers, you're safe, you're not. Remember, containers aren't virtualized instances and they run the same kernel. This is a kernel-specific failure, and it is a way to elevate your privileges from a normal user, which means the user that's in a container, unfortunately. So if you think just because you're in a container, then you're not safe. Now, one of the good parts, and the reason you'll notice this sounds all terrifying, it only has a CVE of 7.8 because you must execute code as the user. If there's no way for the user to execute code, then you're probably fine. If you're somebody like, and I'm not picking on these people, but I just know their architecture, like Civo, who let you run code. You can go pay $5 to have an instance on Civo or DigitalOcean or somebody like that. If you're not supposed to, if it's a shared node, if they run a big server rack and it's a shared node and your thing is in a container and that's how they isolate your code, think of a Lambda type thing. This affects you. I could run this code in my Fly.io account, in my DigitalOcean account, in any of those shared workloads. And this provides an attack point into your network. So you can think of your network as a different, it's a whole stack, and this is why you have layers of security. This can give me root access in a node inside of your network, which is much harder to detect. So what is copy fail? Well, one, it's a fantastic name. I actually really like this name. We got away from Dune finally. Finally, we can talk about a vulnerability that isn't Dune related. I did think of some Dune names we could have given it. Obviously, I didn't do this, but anyways, let's get back on track. This is the exploit. You can get this and you can run it. I have, and you can see if you're vulnerable or not. This will give you a root shell. It's pretty awesome. It's not often that we get to see these types of things and actually understand how they work, but we could, if you guys would like, dig deeper into understanding exactly what this does. It doesn't do a whole lot, and how it relates to the actual code. So this is the code that is vulnerable. This was the commit that introduced this in 2017, I believe. I believe it was 2017. We can go back and look. I'm pretty sure it's 2017. Since 2017. It won't damage it. It will give you a root shell, though. I believe. I just ran this on some AWS instances that were like our cloud, like how our cloud offering currently runs them. So they weren't in production. I didn't like go run this on a production one because I didn't trust it not to damage something. But I believe that everything that it does, it won't persist through boot, right? Let's we can look at the code and actually validate that, right? Yes, it is a 4-byte write over the buffer. So we're creating C because we hate naming stuff. So we have D and C because we could have made this a little bit more readable. Yeah. So we're just doing this on SU here. I don't know what these bytes are. This would be interesting. Like, they go into it. I haven't dug super deep into it yet. I haven't had the time to actually see exactly what they're doing here. So Let's see. D is just getting bytes from hex, right? Okay. So that's what this is doing. This is just bytes from hex. So that's all D is doing here. Let me take this phone call really quickly. 1 second. All right. Yeah, that was Sam. Sam didn't love my coverage at the beginning of this. He didn't love it. That was just him telling me that, he'd like a little bit more notice before I talk about things, which is fair. Friends should do that a little bit more. I expect a call from Musk too. I expect several calls from several of the people that I talked about today, because us millionaires, we have billionaires, we got to all stick together. Actually, my AI only says that I'm a millionaire. I'm not a billionaire. I'm working on it. Okay. So anyways, go check out Copy Fail. There's not a whole lot more I can tell you right now. I haven't dug into this proof of concept or the original issue that was caught. But it is a 4-byte offset effectively. And it gives you root. And you're not safe with containers. So if you think that because your untrusted code is run in a container, that's not going to protect you from this, so you should go patch. Basically, you just need to patch. Right. So what about running in K8's pods with non-root users? That's what I'm saying. You're not safe there. If the people in those containers can execute code, they can execute this, right? So they can escape the container that way, because the page cache is shared across the host and it's in the kernel. So if we remember right, we can draw something here. Let's switch to drawing here. All right. If you remember right, when we're talking about in the VM world, each VM gets its own kernel. There's a bunch of stuff, like there's actually the hardware virtualization and its own kernel. In the container world, though, there is no hardware virtualization and there is no kernel. It's just the shared kernel. So flaws like this in the kernel, because what this is then built on top of, instead of hardware virtualization and the kernel, what you get is C groups and namespaces. It's a little bit more complicated than this, but you effectively get C groups and namespaces, but that doesn't protect you from shared kernel attacks. Like, that's the whole thing there, right? Only sandboxing sockets might say, yeah, let's see. There were some The best thing to do is patch. The best thing to do is patch if you can patch. If you can't patch immediately, disable this module. If you can. If you can't, so there should be some protections you can put. I'm trying to think about 1 second. Let's see if they have a container specifically one. You probably can do something with like container permissions. Because like you can set different container permissions. I don't know which ones you need though. And I don't know enough to tell you which ones to do. So I would just follow this right here. But yeah, you might be able to sandbox your sockets somewhat. But it is not a directly again, you have to just understand that anything that's in the kernel, any flaw in the kernel, if you can access that flaw through a user, a non-root user, then containers can access it, right? And they can leverage that to then get up outside of their sandbox. So, and you should be able to, like I said, there's probably, I don't know the container permissions around this, that there might be some that you could take away that would alleviate this, but off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'm still, okay, look, I'm on Arch. I use Arch, by the way, the Lord system. But I just switched from i3 to Cosmic, and it's screwing with my shortcuts a little bit. Bear with me. I'm struggling a little bit with it too. Don't worry. All right, let's jump. Well, it's cool because you actually have the exploit code here. So like, go try it. Like, we could try it on this machine, but I mean, I'm on Arch, so I'm already patched. Losers. But we could spin up a VM. If you guys would like to, after the break, spin up a VM and do that. I'd do that as well. We can spin up a VM and do like an older version. All right, are you guys ready to play Wordle? Maybe you can't play Wordle right now? Did we break Wordle? Let's get out of this. Let's open up Zed. We've been trying to use Zed. All right. What do 370? Okay, 370. How did we break this? That's not even this. What? Wait, this is game.rs 370. Look, it's shared blame. Remember, this is blameless. We don't. Oh, I'm at 270. Holy crap. Not 370. Remember, we don't play the blame game here. Do you remember that, Russell? No blame game here. It's we. It's us. Us as a group. Okay. This was because we were trying to start giving people a score. What we can do is just comment this out. Like, if I just comment out all the code that I wrote, it will work perfectly. Yeah, see? There we go. I said work. It will work perfectly. I meant that function would work perfectly. Okay. We're almost there. 269. You know what? We just started using Z. How do I jump to a line number? Can I just do like 269 like I would? Yeah. Yes, I can. I'm much too excited about that. Use of a moved value. I do love. Okay. We're almost done commenting out code. We're almost done commenting out all my hard work. Like I said, Wordle. Now, everybody guess a word. I've actually really liked Zed. I really like Zed. You should try it. I think it's actually pretty fantastic. I've only started using it. I think that it has some of the best Vim. I think it has some of the best Vim. I'm going to go make a cup of coffee. I'm going to be back in about 15 minutes. You guys play Wordle. Basically, we don't have a leaderboard yet. That's what I was working on. But it's going to pick the most voted for word. So if 4 people voted for a rise and 1 person voted a float, if they're a tie, it picks one at random. That's the game. That's the game. I will be right back in just a second. Give me about 10, 15 minutes. Thanks, everybody. And have fun with the Wordle. Sorry it took so long. Wait. It's a word. What word was this? What word was this? What word did I miss? Are you guys enjoying the challenge? Did this live up to its name? Did you guys not believe me when I said it was a little bit challenging? I just think you guys are a little upset when I challenge you. Ooh, agent with none. Ooh. Okay, we'll finish this one off together, and then we'll get into some programming. Oh, was this not English? Was this not English? Oh, no. You know what? I want to blame... I think it's Dutch. I think Dutch was the one that gave us this word list. Zorro, A-G-E-N and T. We're pressed for words. You know what? I'm gonna vote for Oxbow here. It's a good word. That doesn't use any of the above mentioned. You're not sure. I use Penac all the time. I use Penac all the time. Gosh, there's a Z in this. No O's. A or an E. Also, I'm kind of upset that Zorro was a word. I'm kind of upset that Zorro was an accepted word. Fuzzy is good. Fuzzy is good because it doesn't use A, E, or O. So what other word has a Z and an I? Fizzy? Yeah, okay, yeah, fizzy. Fizzy is valid. You guys are complaining about the difficulty, but every time I see you all play this, it just looks easy. It just looks easy. Nice job. Wait, who did, Acras. Our crass. Yeah, I'm killing it. I know. Nice job. Nice job. Okay, we have this. You know, I probably should go make a Penac. I love Penacs. I use the word all the time. I use it all the time. Okay. It's a very simple game. Oh, what did I do? I'm pressing things. Ooh. All right. Let's add how to calculate a score. I eat Penac cakes every breakfast. Every breakfast. Did I show you this? We went camping last night, me and my kids, and we made these little they're like breaded sausage, and we roasted them on a fire. That's not very easy to see. One second. These things. Anyways, we had maple syrup that we cooked ourselves, that we dipped them in. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Those are basically blueberry pancakes on a stick. You know, we actually have an easy mode in here. It's the nerd list. So we could do it on this, and it's just all your favorite words like Scrum, Emacs, Godot, Swift. We're big Swift fans. We're Swifties. This is easy mode for us, basically, right? I need to add to this list though, because it's not a very long list. It's some say the perfect length, but others would say it needs to be a bit longer. So there's always that. Big maple syrup. This whole stream has been big maple syrup. Like, big maple syrup is getting into everybody's business, all right? We're coming for it. Big maple syrup is ruining everything. Rumors are Elon will take big maple syrup to court next. Yeah, probably. Probably. All right. We were trying to make scoring work, right? That was kind of what we were doing. I think I kind of made a mess of everything. I commented out a bunch of stuff because we didn't do it. Use of a moved... we can't do this. Because, yeah. We don't want to do that. Let me think about how we want to do this. The problem is... I really haven't written a ton of Rust recently. That's actually the biggest problem. I have not written a bunch of Rust for a long time, honestly. Okay, this is a problem we need to fix, but I also want to jump to calculating score. I thought we finished that function, and we just had to comment it all out, which hurt my feelings. Because it obviously was super wrong. So it wasn't even compiling. When did I end? I must have ended rough. Do you know what? Last week, I think my internet kind of just decided to take a crapper. I think my internet just decided to take a crapper, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm done. I gotta go talk to my Big Maple sponsors. Because this is in a terrible state. I don't like where we're at with this. This game loop for the Wordle. By the way, did the new people here enjoy the Wordle game? I thought it was kind of fun. I'm happy with it. I do want to keep a scoreboard, though. I feel like not many participated. Aw. Thank you. Thank you. I thought it was a fun way to let me take a small break, and I took the dogs outside. Made a cup of coffee. Get a small break, and people who are waiting, you know, you should go take a break yourselves, but you could also play a game. I'm happy if people went and took a break. Okay, so I had this idea that we could have a scoreboard. That's kind of what you saw. I can't run it now. We could run the last build, but off to the left-hand side, there's kind of this idea of having a scoreboard. People could earn points. And the idea was this: for each round, a user that guessed the selected word gets 2 points. So if you were the one of the people to guess the selected word, you get 2 points for every correct letter and 1 point for every correct letter in the wrong place. So basically, you can't, even if the word isn't correct, if you're part of the populace, should we even do this? Because then it makes it a popularity vote. Will this encourage people to just vote what others are? Maybe. I'll have to think about that. I thought this would... Because if you guess the right word, then you get a bunch of points. So I was hoping to reward people for being, like, which were the most correct. We could also change the selection process. We could change the selection process where it picks the word that scores the most pointage, right? So basically, the most characters in the right spot, that word gets selected. Would that be better? I feel like that gets too easy, though. But we could do that. And then leave it to popularity if there's 2 words that score the same. I actually kind of like that. It encourages you to go out on your own if you think you have a better word, right? We might do that. Okay. I think this is all... What is this doing? This isn't even calculate. What is this? Did I copy and paste something here? Feels very wrong. I think one of the things I was looking at here is we have to score this. Oh, we are currently, what are we running locally? We're using Olama, but let's see, what are we using? We're using Quinn 3.6, yeah. We could use Gemma. Should we switch to Gemma 4? Should we try it? Let's try it. We'll see how that works. Quinn was interesting. So far, it has generated valid code quickly, but the code, I say valid, I mean like compiling code quickly, but the code hasn't actually ever been right or correct. Just compiling code. Okay, I have to think here for a second, everyone. This shouldn't write to the database. Or should it just write to the database? Should it calculate every user's score and write it to the database? So I know that we talked like we could batch, and we're not going to batch at first. Not batching writes to database at first. It's not like enough people watch my stream to make this like a hot issue, right? So we can just write to the database for each one. The other thing we didn't really talk about was the structure of the database. Let's see. Wordle, migrations. we don't even have a table in the database, right? So what is this table going to look like? How is our data going to be formed? I think the database should look like this. I think. It should be like username, total points. Is this it? I think this is it. Just username and total points, right? Yeah. So when I get Togglebit's viewership, we'll test SQLi. Really, I'm just testing my disk. Like, did I cheap out and get cheap disks? What you guys don't know is this is on a rotating disk, right? This is on a rotating disk. Is this all we need? Okay, so Gemma is not doing so good. Like, Gemma is not doing very good. Right? That's Deanna Lazy Susan. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. You know what? I just realized when I said this and you said that, my children would not know what I mean by a rotating disk. I was already disappointed when my children didn't know what a gas cap was. I like straight up was like, man, one, that makes me feel super old. And two, like, I understand how my dad was with some things. Like, how can you not understand what this is? Our 2011 Ford, like, cars don't mean a whole lot to me, right? And I drive a 2011 Ford Escape. And it's not even a good one. It's like the very base model. I think that this is probably it. This is what I drive. Except mine's actually in worse shape. This looks nicer than what I drive. This thing doesn't have a gas cap. I don't even know how to like search for like where you put gas. It doesn't have a gas cap. It has like a capless Does this show pictures inside the... No, it doesn't. Anyways, doesn't have a gas cap. I don't know why I'm still talking about this. Let's move on. Gemma is terrible so far. Well, you know, it's okay. We'll try something else. I think this is all we need, right? So we just need to create a table. This is so bad at SQL. Does it use a zip? What are you referring to? The car? Gas. Like, let's just search for gas cap. You can buy a gas cap. So it looks like this. It has just like a little like the nozzle just pushes that down, right? Oh, not a cap, so it must have a zip. I got it. I'm slow on the uptake, always. It's just this. It's that right there. Okay, I want to see if a different one. I want to see if a different one is this dented. Let's switch back to Quinn 3.6. And I have SQL in this directory, right? I do. Right. Where is the other SQL though? Right, so I could find these here. Like, it could have grepped for SQL stuff. Look at this. Look at this. So, you know what? Since we're going to make this cross-platform, we should put username. The other thing that I was thinking besides username is platform. And we'll make the key unique across those two, right? Or do we just have an ID primary key, like auto increment? Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Create table, Wordle high scores. I was thinking this would be the primary key, right? Like if you're on YouTube, I would like to add YouTube support at some point. If you're just joining, one of the bigger events that I'm going to host this year is going to... I don't like this song. This makes me feel like I'm about to get my teeth worked on. I don't know about words on stream. I could look it up if it would help me make this more interesting. You know what this actually came about from? A long time ago, I was a part of a challenge to fix a Kubernetes cluster in front of hundreds of people. And somebody from my chat got to break that cluster for me. This was before we were friends. And what they did, when you SSH'd into the cluster, it dropped you into Wordle. You had to solve Wordle before you could get to a restricted shell. So you couldn't, like, and if any, like, it was a difficult Wordle. I don't know, I failed a couple of times at that Wordle, and you only have a certain amount of time to fix the cluster. It was so nerve-wracking. Like, when I SSH'd in, and it was like, holy crap, I have to solve a word. What? Oh man, that was good. That was fantastic. In SQLite, can I have a primary key that is based off of what is the word I'm trying to multiple columns. I've obviously searched this again before. Okay, so I can do a primary key on 2 columns. I think this feels over-engineered to me. But I think it feels right. I don't know. I don't know. It feels right to me. Yeah, it was a fantastic troll. It was actually like, I didn't realize it then because I hadn't really streamed a whole lot then, but like it was really good streaming content. Like it was really really good. Now, because I didn't realize it, at that point I was like, all these people think that I'm just a dumb idiot. That was it was so stressful back then. Today it would be so much like it would be great. It would be great now. Then not so much. I like it when people troll me now. I can roll with the punches. Okay, you know what? When we get back into Rust, we're gonna go back to Gemma 4 and see if it can, you know, revive itself. Now, an interesting thing with this, and I'm building platform support in while we only have one platform right now. We need to basically, we're getting messages in a background thread, right? And we need to tag them with what platform that user is coming from, right? Or else we won't know. And I don't remember where that was happening. All right. So this is a chat message, and we need to add. Oh, we already have platform. It's like I was thinking ahead. It was like I was thinking ahead. This is just a message though, right? Does this have the information we need? So this is sending a Twitch message. Which we would have like a YouTube message, right? Okay. So by the fact that this is a Twitch message, we do know. But we're just passing this as a... Oh, I see. This is an interesting way of doing it. I probably wouldn't do this way right now. Because like right now, I just built this wrapper that basically just makes this easier to use. But I'm gonna have to repeat all of these match statements when I could just make specific functions for Twitch. I probably would go with that, like the specialized, like on the other end nowadays, right? But I mean, I can also just do this again and do like a platform, right? But it seems dumb because basically we're obfuscating what we already have in that enum. I don't feel like rewriting it right now. I have a platform, right? I already have a platform enum, right? I don't know how to switch over to this tab. Let's see. There we go. Never mind. I do know. Having a... you're not wrong. What else do we have, though? What other information do we have right now? just for the Wordle game. So like this is not a database of like, you know, we have these, which is like when you subscribe or follow, we generate an AI message that's just like a fun story of you following the channel, right? And we do save those. Those get saved to a database. So you know, when Russell subscribed, and we could pull up this database and we could actually look at what Russell's following message was, or subscription message was. But this isn't part of this database. This is just a database for Wordle, the game that we're playing. Now we could tie it back into this one, and this one does have a user ID, but it's much more integrated with Twitch, right? Actually, could we do that? One second. Maybe you have a good call out. Maybe in our Twitch message here, we're getting the private message, right? Which means we could get the ID, right? Oh yeah. One second. Okay. Calm down. Good call. We wanted to do this as this was platform, and then we'll have another pub function, platform ID is what I'm gonna call this. Is that what I want to do? I think it's what I want to do. And this, we're just going to say it's an I-64 right now. I don't remember what it is. I haven't touched that part for a very long time. Oh, I pressed a button and it did a thing. I meant, that was my Vim. I was going to accept its recommendation, but it just tab in this. Okay. What is this ID? Because it's calling parse on this. Did it need to call parse? Yeah, this is the ID, right? But it is giving it as a string. I'm pretty sure that's what we were storing here though, right? As an integer. I'm pretty sure we're storing it as an integer. I mean, I know that we are. Twitch ID can't equal database ID, because if it does, then I tie the system to Twitch ID system, right? And in theory, Twitch and YouTube and whatever platform this supports could have conflicting IDing systems. Now, I don't know if this was 3 years ago, so that could be by me. I might have tied this to Twitch accidentally here. Which warrants a further investigation. Let's see, what do Twitch IDs look like? We can test this out. We can run that really quickly with a print statement. Yeah, they're numerical. Okay. But what this really means is that like this needs to be like platform ID and my ID, right? So like in here, there should be like a platform ID. Obviously I can't update it there. This actually is really dumb. I'm just looking at it right now, and each of these are different tables that that track the account ID. And do you know what's worse? I wasn't even using AI at this point. Whew. Ooh, I can't even blame this on AI Slop. You know, like, I don't want to get blame here right now. This is hurting my feelings. This is hurting my feelings. Do you know what, guys? I was testing the newest AI at this point. I'm pretty sure I was testing. Okay, if we are to update this, it actually is like a pretty decent rewrite of our data structure. Organic slop. I was creating slop before it was the cool thing to do, okay? Okay? I was creating slop well before it was the cool thing to do. I also, okay. For one, I wasn't going to tie this to the game, right? Like to Wordle. This is like my Twitch alerts and everything like this. This deserves its own bit of rethinking. Let's go back to just Wordle, because that's like, this is separate, honestly. Like, the Wordle game is not meant to be part of the core platform database. So like, oh well. If you guys didn't know, when you subscribe or follow or whatnot, those Twitch alerts are powered by this same code base. The code's all jumbled together. It's a disaster. It's been 3 years of why it's that way. It's not good. It is how it is. I was the original Slop. Good old slurry. A code slurry. All right. Let's see. So we really should have like ID. Do we want it to be serial? It might as well be serial. If we use serial with the SQLite, do we need to do auto increment? Also, if we're doing this, this should be a varchar, because I don't know what the platform will be. The username is fine. Although we don't really need to do it this way. I usually just use text, which is probably better. I think in my mind, like, the AI said varchar, but like, because like 255 is probably a good, honestly, we could actually get more limited here and say like 255 is probably fine, but we could say this is the two character. Do we want to say that? Do we want to get a little crispy? Like, that's probably good. Anyways, I was going to say, let's go light. Do I need to do auto increment? I don't need to, right? Is this AI Slop or is this real? Okay, I think it just auto increment. I'm just gonna copy and paste that because I love misspelling things. And then maybe not. What did I do previously? I don't write SQLite enough. Yeah, it's just did I say it was an integer? I'm not sure if I did. I didn't say auto increment here either. I don't know what I did over here. It's just slop. So let's see. Let me see if so if I do integer primary key that's pointing to the row ID column, then I don't need to do auto increment, right? I'm going to delete this. I think that was AI slop. Not that past Merrick is a good judge, but I never used auto increment, right? Oh, I did use auto increment here, but not here for some reason. Because I like consistency in everything that I do. I'm going to try it without the auto. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Platform, we only need 2, right? It'll be just 2 characters. Username, we're just going to switch to text. I think that's a little safer. Total points, integer. Do we need their... Instead of their platform... Okay, we're going to use username... ID. I'm going to say this is an integer because I want it to be an integer. Worst case, Twitch's is an integer, and worst case, YouTube's isn't. And if it's not an integer, then I convert it to text, and that's just how it is, right? I could make a separate column for each platform. Like, I could do like platform YouTube ID, and it could be null, right? Like this, which just means like, yeah. Do I want to do it this way where... In theory, this would also allow me to link if you were both a YouTube watcher and a Twitch watcher, but I would have no way of knowing which one was which. But this allows me to handle them in their own way. Maybe we got to do this. I think this is maybe what... I don't like this. ID... Can the AI generate this? Come on. Come on. Username. Platform. I don't know why it wanted it in a new line. It's totally cool like that. Whatever. Okay. Okay. All right. That kind of was a sidetrack from the we want to score people. Now, if this is our database and we're getting a Twitch message, we need to know... Oh, man. Okay, so in this case, we need... We don't need this, right? This is not true. And we need to index these, right? And this would be like integer, right? Indexing the integer wouldn't be too bad. This makes me want to go back to just making a platform ID, not worrying about if YouTube sucks. And then this wouldn't be too bad, right? Because then their platform ID and the platform that they are on. 1 second. Oh, my brain's hurting. Why am I building support for YouTube? What's going to be writing to this? So basically, this is just the Wordle high scores. So every round, we're going to calculate your scores and save it to the database, right? And I realized we could do this in batch, right? Like, that's a possibility, but I'm not worried about performance right now. My thought was that I would like to have this by the AI games too. So if we have a lot of people, we're going to have some breaks. And while the breaks are going, we're going to play some Wordle. I'm hopefully also going to have an AI play Wordle itself. I'm not sure how that's going to work just yet, but hopefully the AIs will also be able to play Wordle for all to see. So those are the two things that two of the things I'd like to get done by. I'm gonna have to work more on this by the July AI games. So I don't have a whole lot of time. The idea was that every round your scores would get updated, and we would just smash it into the database. I know it will be fine. The database will survive. I'm gonna say we don't support YouTube right now, and I'll leave the platform in here just for if we do, we should be able to add, but I'm not gonna work too hard on making YouTube work by July. This is my internal ID. But when I get a Twitch message, I don't get an internal ID, right? I get, let's see, what do I get from here? I get this message, a chat message, which has the author, the content, like this is just your name. Now that's because I'm only passing this through. With this platform message. What I could do... And right now, this is even just hard coded to Twitch. But this author and content is only being delivered to you from this right here. This right here. And this message only has information coming from Twitch or from YouTube. And this is owned by us. We can manage this. You know, this... we can just say returns a... You know, it's Twitch. It should be an enum. Oh, actually, we'll leave that. What does it complain about? Oh, we probably want to... I don't know why I would send a debug through. I guess we'll just send that as like D. Okay, anyways, in here, I need to map this. So this won't, if we have an internal ID, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Twitch sends a message, it won't send it with the internal ID. It will send it with Twitch's ID, right? So this one right here will be Twitch's ID that they send. And we can leverage this ID. I think it's an I-64. We'll see. It might be a U-64, honestly. That might make more sense. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. And we'll have to index on this value, right? Because that's how we'd actually find our ID. YouTube chatter. I don't know their API at all. And I'm just not gonna care. I'm not gonna care. Platform ID. This is what we're going to do. I mean, just so I can move forward. Yeah. And we'll do platform Twitch ID. And we'll do platform YouTube ID integer. And if it's not that, we'll deal with it when we care. But when we have a Twitch message, we'll search on the Twitch IDs and go with it. Now here, we do something like let platform equal message dot platform. Wait, platform. Oh, this is the ID of the person on the platform. That's not what we want. We want platform. And this is where I now kind of want to go back and not send this message because this message is just, it's just wrapping this which has really valuable information, because basically what we could do is we could unwrap this and handle it differently. Do we want to do that? I don't know if we want to do that. Let me think about that. Right now, we're just making this chat message. And so this is what gets displayed to the screen. This is what gets displayed to the screen. This needs the platform, right? This actually has this message platform, but I don't think this should be here, right? I actually think this is weird. We have this here with all this messaging stuff, and then we also have this message, which is like from the Twitch side of things. And I almost think that platform deserves to live here. I want to take this. So this is part of our Twitch chat. I don't really want to translate it. I feel like I'm in this weird spot because of how I structured this, that I'm going to be... I feel like like this is just a translation, but this really needs to, like, to show purple, it needs to know that it's from Twitch chat. So this really needs to know the platform, right? Which it does. I almost need a higher construct that both of these pull out of, because this message can't depend on this content here, because this is just for the UI. Yeah, I need to do that. That's what I need to do. I just want to throw it in here. Man, the only thing I'm thinking of is the word utils. Why does utils pop up so quickly and easily for me? It's like right there on the tip of my tongue. Utils. That's not what I need. I need like stuff for messages that's unique. So we have like Twitch chat here. Really, Twitch chat should be part of... Okay, I got it. We're going to do this. We're going to do chat systems. Yeah, just chat. Twitch chat's going to be part of this. I know this is going to break a bunch of stuff. So then there would be like YouTube chat, like whatever. We'd have all the chats in there. And we're also going to have a mod.rs. Beautiful in here. We're just going to mod this out as we go. So this will be our Twitch chat. So we'll do pub mod Twitch chat. And then we'll also do like a pub mod messages. What I'm going to do is make a new file, messages.rs, and this is just going to be those generic messages that we want to pass around. That, I think, is what's in here. Really? Is that this one? Yeah, yeah. This isn't Twitch. In fact, I think I could just drag this here. I just need to delete this. Yeah, send it to trash and just move this one here. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, platform messages in a readily shareable spot here. I don't remember where I wanted to... I don't know why I was using an S. I don't know where I wanted to... Oh, share it. Where was I trying to share it again? Let's go through here. It was with this message. Where is this message? All right, this is the Twitch chat. Oh, so this is outside of games altogether. Really, chat could be outside of games altogether, right? This is just a function of... people chatting, right? And it's not part of this. It's just... Okay, okay. This is getting a little adventurous for me. Okay, so we moved chat out. So now... I did all of this because this could actually, instead of returning a string, could return a platform. What could it call? Let's see. Chat messages. This is called a message platform. I get why I named it that. I also am upset with myself. All right, it's gonna be upset with this. We have not done this correctly, so 1 second. Let's see. Chat is sitting right here. This is like the front end stuff. Yeah. Front end stuff for chat. Okay, that's fine. This is the mod for this. That's fine. What I need to do is work on the mod for it. Here we go. Here. Mod chat. The struggle is real. Oh yeah, this is an old code base that I haven't touched for years. So yeah. Absolutely. If you wanted well-refined, don't go into an old code base and try to make wide sweeping changes. Now we should be able to see this here, right? Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's gonna make everything incorrect. It's okay. Okay, I still don't love this wrapper, but that's okay. Does we build? We does not. These two are things we should fix. This is understandable. This is just the calculate score function that we still haven't gotten to. All right. Okay, let's go fix these. So, let's see. We did move this. So, under games mod, there's no more this. Done. Twitch chat messages. Okay. Ooh. Wait. Source Twitch chat messages. That is not what I was looking at, was it? No. Twitch chat. We have a... Wait, isn't this what I just imported? Did I mess this up too? No, I got it. Messages right here. Done. Why does it say that? Oh, I didn't save this file. That's why it says that. Okay, it should. We'll have the one function, right? This function I expected. Yeah. What is these? Yeah, Twitch chat isn't a game. It's not a game anybody plays. Trust me. Oh, okay. This makes sense. We did move this out of games. Which Wordle game? Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm not used to this keyboard mouse thing. Wait, was this this was this, right? Now we might need to import that again. This is actually just chat. Oh, no games, just chat. Chat messages, right? Yeah. Okay. That's fixed. Excellent. Oh, look at that. We have an ad break. Does Wordle even need to know the platform? No, but I do. While this ad break is going, for all of you who have not subscribed, I'm gonna go take a little bathroom break because I really have to pee for some reason. I'll be right back. All right. All right. You know, I forgot to change my titles. Let's change those really quickly. All right, so about the platform, what you were asking. You were asking if Wordle even needed to know the platform. And the answer is no, it doesn't. But, okay, let me get this compiling and I'll show you. The only reason, wait, why do, if I keep an internal, oh, okay. The reason I need to know what platform it came from is to look up what's ID, right? Agreed. It's part of the message. I agree. That's kind of what I was doing. And that's what I complained about because I think I did it poorly, right? I think I did it poorly. I'm not in disagreement with this, okay? I'm not sitting here defending some code I wrote 3 years ago. I used to be what I would consider fairly good at writing code. I've never gotten to write Rust as a profession, so like anytime I write Rust, it's in my spare time. I really love Rust, but I am pretty rough at it as well because it's my spare time language, and my spare time hasn't been a whole lot recently, and so sometimes I do dumb things in it. I'm learning. Now, if this was some Go, I can bust out Go. I don't love Go, but I know Go pretty well. I probably don't know C++ any better than I know Rust now. I would probably just be leaking memory all over the place. Yeah, I mean, as my job has switched more and more to management, I've coded less and less, unfortunately. So now most of my coding is in my spare times and for fun. So. Oh, no. I stream it so that I can have a conversation. If people want to have a real conversation, I love having it. I get a bit distracted. Sometimes I'll say I need to focus because I actually do need to get the AI games, all the stuff done for it by July 4th. I'm going to be streaming probably 6 to 8 hours a day for those days. So it should be a lot of fun. And we're just going to test out like real usage of AI. We're going to try to do some AI first workflows. Thanks for the follow. We also have like we built an AI arena where AI can play chess against each other and stuff like that. So we have a bunch of stupid stuff to go do. We're going to test a bunch of models, ones we can run locally, ones we can I'll pay for them. And then we're going to try to do some agentic workflows and stuff like that and see what we can't do. And in that, we're going to play some Wordle. I'm going to take breaks is what I'm saying. And you all are going to play Wordle. All right, we got some use of moved values, mismatch type. Is that it so far? Okay. What's this? Use a move value. Oh, wow. Okay, no. This is the first one. Could not find Twitch chat. This is, we just moved a whole bunch of folders. I expected to have more than this. Twitch chat in games. I didn't move Twitch chat out of games. I did. I moved it to chat. Okay. Okay, so I did move it out. I didn't remember doing this part. I do remember this part. I think I was kind of... That was maybe not the bestest choice. What IDE are people liking the most here? I learned last year, I learned Vim, and I pretty much only used Vim all of last year for stream. This year, I've been using Zed with Vim key bindings. I actually really like it for Vim key bindings. It has some of the best support for Vim, like macros and everything. This will auto import. I just need to do this. All right, and I think that then just leaves us to our lifetime errors. Now this is interesting. Oh, okay. So this is the new stuff. This is the new stuff. So did we actually fix everything? I kind of want to comment out that stuff just to see if we're back to let's see, game 269. How do we... I looked this up last week in Zed. How do I uncomment and comment? I don't remember. I don't remember. And this one was in 349. Oh yeah, this is what? Let's just do there. That function works now. Oh, I did okay, let's do this. Where did we put this? We didn't put it in here right now. No, LS, SRC, games, Wordle. It's here, right? Yeah, this is the Wordle scoreboard DB. Let's just delete that. Right? Let's do RM, SRC. Like, it doesn't have anything in it. And then we can just run again. Because it should create the DB if it doesn't exist. I think that's how we programmed it. I'm going to say that's incorrect. Oh, no, I just did something bad with the migration. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. It doesn't like something here. Let me just check with previous ones. I'm not an SQLite expert here. I see the problem. I see the problem. Is it this? Interesting. Let's just try. Okay, let's try this. I can create the blank database, but I thought that we had logic to create it if it didn't exist. Because it's the same logic that's going to go and run the migrations, right? It checks to see if the migrations are there. If it aren't, it runs them. Yeah, it created the scoreboard. This is an interesting, failed to register message component. This is like to the TUI, right? Or did it not find the database? So we've never applied any actual migrations, right? Because so far, this has been empty. No such file or directory. Yeah. I'm getting the feeling that our... Let's walk through how this starts. Hey, how do you like... you know what? If you like that emoji, that custom emoji, I have new ones coming out for the Null games. I make a new one every Null games or AI games. When we test AIs, the whole idea is you get to spam them when an AI fails at something. It's kind of fun. Let's actually walk through this. This was written 3 years ago, so I don't really remember it. We're going through here. We're running the game. So this is the Wordle game. This is the SQLite migrations. Oh. So it's interesting. It's getting here to like failed to register. Like it's starting the TUI, but there's some sort of not found message that's being passed to the TUI. And I think that's what the TUI's choking on, is like some message is not expecting gets passed to it. I want to test something out here. I think, let's see. I think if I comment this out, I think it will work as it was, right? We do pass the SQL. Okay, doing that might be a little bit more work than I was wanting. Let's do this. Printing is not the most viable thing here. Yeah, we can check that out. Let's go. So what this here is, let's go make sure. Yeah. What this here is our... This is registering with so the TUI we use is Anathema from Togglebit. And why did we call it Twitch Chat ID? I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. It's oh. I'm glad you had me look at this. Look at this template path. It's hard coded. It's hard coded. It's not here anymore, right? Is it right here? Is it right here? It might be. Wait. Let's see. Wordle templates. Wordle. Yeah, no, those are still there, right? Wordle games or games, Wordle templates, row templates main. These two are here. We did move this is what we moved. This is what we moved, right? This is not here anymore. This is under Twitch chat now. It's just like this. No, it's chat then Twitch chat. Yes. Yes. Okay. I thought for sure. There we go. There we go. I was wrong. I can admit it. Oh, right is a good one though. Right was a good one. So the idea here, another thing that we want the platform for is this should be like red. If you're from YouTube. Again, we don't support YouTube just yet, but that's the idea. That was the idea. I know there's like a thing about combining chats, but the combining chats clause is in third parties, and this will be a first party game. So I think YouTube and Twitch should be fine with it. You never know. You never know what they get upset about, but yeah, it shouldn't be a third party. It will be my party. Okay, cool. And now we have some migrations. We have a I pressed buttons. It's wrong. We have a scoreboard that's interesting. It might not be exactly right. But at least it should get us started. It should get us started. I think. Okay. What do we want to do next? We probably should try to actually start scoring people. I know. We could also, you know what we probably should have done? We should do this, like, create index, we want to, what is this doing? Wordle high school. No, it is, we want to create an index on, platform ID, and this is going to be this is going to be Twitch. That won't matter too much. Will be a small enough code base. This won't matter too much, probably. All right. Let's go back to the code. This feels really, really dumb to me. I don't know that I care to fix it right now. Are we like actually using this? I feel like we get these things out here and then we get them again. That's just inefficient. Well. Try not to fix all the bad decisions I've made in life. So this is the one problem that we currently have. Probably to avoid the borrow checker, maybe. But like, I could have just copied too, right? That would be better than another function call, right? With a copy anyways. I feel like this is just a worse way to avoid the borrow checker than I could have done. This is gross code. I'm sorry. This is like 3 years of I don't look at it for a year and I come back to do like one thing and I maybe only make it worse. Maybe only make it worse. Okay. What I was going to say is how we track guesses right now is just by the player's name. This is probably the biggest problem. The problem being is that we should really track it by their internal ID. But we don't load that into memory. I guess we probably need to start keeping the current players in memory, right? So when there's a new player ID, we need to like actually look up their player ID. Now, I could... So that's what we're going to need to do is like manage the database here. Because this was all in memory at this point. I do think that if the player... We should do something like let player ID equal get player ID. Something like this. And basically we should cache. If we've seen the player's ID before, we should cache like their Twitch user, right? That way we don't have to go to the database, and we only go to the database if they haven't been playing yet. It's not really a pair though, right? Right? Because this is the primary key. It would only be a pair if we paired it with these two, right? Like if we said the platform ID plus the platform, like if we did player ID plus the platform, then it would need to be a unique one, right? To say, well, if it's a Twitch ID and it's like, we could have done this where it's just the ID, and then this would be unique, right? Platform and platform ID. But we didn't. We said that we were making a completely unique ID to us. Discord can't play it, right? Not right now. But we could add Discord ID, right? When we added it. It would be an ever-expanding column, you're right. The only other option, we were talking about this, I feel like you were here when we were talking about this, would be to do something like this. And do text, because I don't know what this is going to be. It could be a GUID as far as I know. Even if we take it as integer, and at this point we can say not null, right? These two things should be unique, right? If we do this, we don't really need our own primary key. I guess we should probably still keep our own primary key. And then we can index. We can switch the index to this, just something like this. Do we like this better? We could make this an integer, right? If we're really looking, like, this should be a really performant index, right? This uses B trees for index, right? SQLite uses the B trees, I think. What index does SQLite use? Yeah. ID for indexing. So, okay. The problem here, the problem here is, what if I have a Twitch user Bob with Twitch ID 1234 and YouTube user Blake with YouTube ID 1234, right? So, one second, ID for indexing. So this is the problem, right? Like, we don't know that the platform IDing are non-collisionatory, right? Platform ID is platform user ID. Yes. Probably better to write it as platform user ID too. Yeah, that's why I was having it as text, because like I don't know what they use for their user IDs. I sure hope that it's... I don't know. I thought it probably should be text. And, okay, and so this is why I was breaking out YouTube and Twitch to be the same. We've had this conversation earlier today. Or me and maybe somebody else. This is not a great index with the text. I hate indexing on text. Yeah. Platform ID. Yeah. Okay, fair. And yeah, this is now user ID. Okay. And then now. Back to what we were talking about here. We probably still need to get player ID because they'll come on with something, and that something isn't our ID. And we should probably keep track of this, our internal ID, in memory, so we don't have to hit the database every single time a known player is played just to look up their ID. Right, so we're still doing this. We're still doing this song and dance. I just started typing. I forgot my function declaration. Let's see, and this is probably going to return I32. It'd be a lot of players before we got to a 64. Probably a U32. You know, I'm actually using the brain cells. Okay. Failed in the scope. Okay, can you? Thank you. Import that. I just can't. I cannot type. Okay. That was way more difficult than it should have been. Way more difficult. Alrighty. Cool. All right, let's see. Let's see if Quinn 36 can do this. We are running this locally, which is awesome. We're just going to describe what this should do. So, should get our internal ID from the database, matching the player's platform and platform user ID. Any other particulars about this? Oh, we should cache the player's ID in memory and should check that before hitting the database. All right. Why did it want to increment round count? How does this make sense? I tried to give it a chance. It just returns error. Okay, I gotta go look up, we use SQLX. So I gotta go look up how I want to do this. It's been a little while since I've used that. We're going to want to keep this in an index as well. Which should probably look something like, well, I was gonna say a hash map, but should we do it? Oh, should it be like this? Okay, this sounds bad. Hash map of, a hash map of platform. So int like an I8, right? An I8 I8 of a hash map of, so that's going to be the platform, and then this is going to be the user ID of string, and then a U32, right? Is this gonna be, so like for our caching, I don't know what this is doing here, but for our caching in memory, we should keep this hash map. Yes, that would allow us to look at the platform and then look at the user ID for that platform and recall their ID. You could, so all you have to do is make it so that it hashes all together, right? As long as you make it hash uniquely, you could, right? But you'd have to implement that yourself. I've done that. I think this might be easier than doing that, though. What you would do is you would make a new type, and then just implement to hash from hash. I say to hash from hash, but that's not exactly the terminology there, but you get the idea. All right. It's been 3.5 hours. I'm probably done for right now. Oh, do the array of... And just search each one? No. You're right. You know what I could do? No, this is dumb. This was dumb. Look at this. My handmade... No. This is all dumb. This is all dumb. That was so stupid. Oh, I hate it when I over-engineer something. How beautiful is that? Because here I'll know what platform it is. I just pull the one that is actually useful for him. Like, there's no searching needed. I have a tendency of over-engineering. I slop over-engineer, which is like a special form of over-engineering. You know, like there's your normal over-engineer where you make something way more better than it needs to be, and then there's the slop over-engineering, which is a form I have perfected, where you don't even make anything better. You just make things worse. Yeah, anyways. I've been using AI less in these fun... It's very tempting for me to use AI in this stuff. I'm a good enough coder that I can tell like when it's supposed to be doing something that's supposed to be doing blah, 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 blah. But I also don't code enough on a day-to-day basis that I can... Sometimes I don't... It takes a little while to get into the groove. Trying to think of where I'm gonna put these things right now. Yeah, I need to program more. Actually, the next week I'm gonna program some evenings. I don't know where you all are. I'm on the East Coast. I'm gonna be programming some evenings because I got to get the AI games done by July 4th. So I still have a lot of work to do. I want to say that I want to just put it on the game round. Where do I store the state for the game? It's really all in this game round, right? I have what the word is, what the players' votes are. It feels weird how I structured this game. Like the game keeps growing in scope, and so like the trade-offs, it's like, oh, now this is a little weird to throw in whether I've seen a player's ID in the round, but that's really the only state that's kept at this point. Maybe we can rename it from game round. And really, this state should survive rounds, right? Actually, I've just answered it myself. It should be here, right? Should be something like this. It's not this because that's not how you do it in Rust. But and this is gonna survive every round. The only thing is because it's defined here, and we can combine this into a single object or something if we wanted to. We could even tuple this if we really wanted to, where it's like Twitch is 0, 1, and 2. This is cleaner than slapping in a tuple. What we need then is when we get a player ID, we're gonna have to pass these in, right? That or we just make them static. So the entire time we're playing the Wordle game, these stay true. I need to think about these, but I kind of like that idea. Just do like we already are using lazy, right? It's almost 1 p.m. That might be a true statement. What time is it? Yeah, it's almost 1 p.m. I have a full-time job, so during the day is not a time when I program a lot. $5 hours from now? Probably not today. I mean, like, maybe tomorrow, maybe... Probably Tuesday and Thursday, I will. Because I gotta be working on this. So Tuesday and Thursday are the days that I'm planning on it. And yeah, I mean like 6, 7, 8 my time, sometime around then. It just depends on when I wrap up doing stuff with the kids. Probably 8-ish p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're pretty active outside. Oh yeah, have I not shown you all? One second. I can show you what we did last night. We were camping. Well, that was this morning. Yeah, so anyways, we do stuff until it gets darker. So yeah, probably about 8 p.m. On Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we're gonna bust code out for the AI games. This is one of them. I want people to have a scoreboard. I think I'm just going to lazy do these up here as statics. So they exist the entire time you're playing. Yeah, that makes complete sense, right? Do I need to do lazy at all? I just instantiate them. I don't need to fill them with data because they'll get filled with data as we go, right? I don't know why I'm just gonna take them from here and put them here. And then we're going to do this. And then this is not correct. I have not done this for a little while in Rust. It's not static, is it? I don't think it's not like this. One second. I need to... How do I make a not static variable or a static variable? I'm just gonna look it up. Create static, static. I need to use lazy, right? Because these aren't static. They're a hash map, and thus I can't define them like I would a static variable. This is where I need Rust, or not Rust, I need lazy. I don't even have to look it up. I just need to go lazy. Rust, lazy, static, hash map. Ooh, they have something in the standard library? I missed this. I missed this. I missed it. Okay, well, cool. We're just going to do this. And we're not doing this. We're just doing this, right? Boom. This is Twitch users. If you were guessing that the lifetimes of something is going to be a pain, yes. Yes, it is. Welcome to my life. I'm the poor fool who does I feel like Rust is a language that needs commitment. And when you're like me and you're like, I will commit to you on the weekends, it's just like, no, that's not enough for me. It's a language that demands your full attention. You know, Python's a great weekend, you know, no commitments needed. It's great. If you get Rust, you got to be committed in that relationship, or else it's just not gonna work out well for you. Okay. I don't know why these are so erroring. Let's see. This is a static string. Does this have to be a static string? It's going to be a static string, right? It will be, because this is okay. No, it doesn't have to be. Can this be? One second. Can this be this? I feel like the answer is absolutely not, but I want to try it anyways. Why didn't it? Shouldn't this be defined based off of what this is? I feel like this should be defined based off of this. But we could do like... See, it already knows it now. Oh, I wasn't returning it. I'm such a dum-dum. Sometimes I impress myself at how dumb I am. Okay, my apologies. Sometimes I am hyper impressiveness. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I hope that I'm going to be able to do this. But let's find somebody to rate. Who do you all want to raid? Do you have somebody that deserves some good follows that is underrated? Unlike myself, who's overrated. Do you guys know of somebody? Wait. What are you saying? I can create within the closure. No, I have to return it, dude. This requires me to return it, right? So in here, this is a function, right? And this has to return a hash map, right? It's looking for a hash map. This lazy lock wants a hash map. So I have to return it in the function, right? I can create whatever I want, but this wants this, right? And so this new, in this lazy lock, this function must be a hash map, right? And you want it to be mutable because, well, we really don't need it mutable here, right? I think I might be talking past, across. Maybe I'm talking around. Maybe I'm talking through. It's quite possible. Inside the lock? Well, you have to unlock it, right? I don't know. I've not used lazy lock. This is new. Is this a mutex? Is this mutex based? I'm assuming I can use the data, right? And add stuff to it, right? Oh, this is pure. Okay, good call. Good call. So I need to mutex this crap. I'll look it up. I'm not gonna read the docs on stream. We're gonna raid somebody because it's been a little while. Steinholland? Only during construction. Okay, I thought lazy lock would have some unlocking mechanism, but that's fine. I can work around that. I did not get that person is not live right now. I mean, like, they're not live on Twitch. So we need to pick another person. I copy and pasted what you gave me. Don't. Oh, wait. It's searching tags. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm just an idiot. You know, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay, I found it. Ooh, C. Okay, they're doing C. They deserve some respect. There's a search bar, and I use the search bar, but it only searches tags. Okay, let's raid these people. I don't know this person very much. Do they speak English? Yes, English. You know, once I raided a person, and I was baited by my Twitch chat to raid somebody that doesn't speak English. It was a little embarrassing. All right, go say hi to them. Be interactive with them. They're obviously better at this than I am. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Hopefully see you Tuesday and Thursday. And remember, I'll do the news again next Saturday morning, 9-ish a.m. on Saturdays. Thanks, everybody. And thanks for joining. You all were a blast. It was fun.